A very good evening and a warm welcome to our first edition of UBC News Tonight on this 16th day of October 2025. We do welcome you to this news bulletin. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto and my colleague in sign language interpretation, Muhammad Mugalu. Before we get into business, let's first take a look at the top stories tonight. In our top stories tonight, President Museveni extends condolences to Kenyans following the death of Raila Odinga. Ugandan-based Kenyans honor Raila Odinga's life and contributions. Civil society raises alarm over corruption in campaign funding. And in sports, Ugandan swimmers shine with medal haul on day one at Zone 3 Championships. Good evening once again. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto and my colleague in sign language interpretation, Muhammad Mugalu. We start off with our top story. This evening, President Lauryn Museveni has extended his condolences to the people of Kenya and the family of Right Honorable Raila Odinga, former Prime Minister of Kenya, who passed away on October 15th, 2025. This is his message.
Former Prime Minister, fellow Ugandans, Kenyans and all Africans, it is with a lot of sadness that I today, the 15th of October 2025, received the news of the death of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, former Prime Minister of Kenya. Right Honorable Odinga has not been just a career politician, he has been a freedom fighter in the tradition of his late father, Jaramogi Odinga, the first Vice President of Kenya. Ideologically speaking, they have been with the patriotic and pan-Africanist orientation. I have shared ideas with both of them. Their statements have been for the unity of Kenya, East Africa, and Africa, including always supporting the struggles for the realization of our dream for the East African Federation. It is therefore unfortunate that he has left at this moment. It is important for the young people to fill the void left by such historical fighters for Africa's future. I extend condolences to His Excellency Samoei William Ruto, the people of Kenya, and Raila's family. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Signed, Yoweri K. Museveni, President and Chairman of the NRM.
Yes, and that is the condolence message from the President of Uganda, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, to the people of Kenya and also to the family of the late former Prime Minister of Kenya, Raila Odinga. Now, Kenyans living in Uganda have joined political leaders, civil society groups and human rights activists in mourning Raila Odinga, a man many described as the father of democracy in the region.
God be with you till we meet again. By his counsels guide uphold you. With his sheep securely fold you. God be with you till we meet again.
Former Kenyan Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga is a name synonymous with the struggle for democracy, not only in Kenya but across East Africa.
I was so saddened when I heard that Baba had passed on. And at this point, I want to believe that Baba imparted what he wanted to impart on us. Baba was a very courageous man. Baba loved peace. Baba fought for what he believed in. And that is actually what I like the most.
Here in Uganda, Kenyans pay tribute to the long-serving opposition leader whose influence transcended borders.
We had a Black Wednesday and it's still a Black Thursday actually. and we were so saddened. There are some news which you feel like they should be like a dream or be reversed, but unfortunately it is a reality.
A freedom fighter. Raila is a man who has always loved democracy. Raila is someone who has always fought for the democracy that Kenya enjoys today. And this is the loss of Raila is not just a loss for Kenya, but the loss of the entire continent.
Civil society organizations in Uganda have also joined in mourning, describing Odinga as a pillar of civil rights and tireless voice for the oppressed. Activist Judith Kakuza urged young people to follow in Raila's footsteps, particularly in pursuing financial independence and civic responsibility.
One of the most important lessons we pick from him is diversification. When we look at the life of the late Raila Odinga, we realize that he was involved in so many different businesses. He was into engineering, manufacturing, real estate. What do we learn from this as the young generation? We learn the importance of having different streams of income. We learn not to rely on one source of income. Cushion your finances so that if one industry is not doing well, there is another to give you the support that you need.
Gardner Rachseta, a leadership educator and a human rights advocate, emphasized Odinga's role in expanding civic space and pushing for the inclusion of a Bill of Rights in Kenya's constitution.
Raila Odinga, he advocated for a transformative and people-centric constitution. And in that constitution, one I want to allude to is the Bill of Rights that many African leaders, many youth even leaders in their different small groups have violated. And for us as leaders, we need to go back and read that Bill of Rights, not just on paper, but come back and try to implement it in our countries. Because the Bill of Rights is the foundation of every constitution.
As the East African region reflects on Raila Odinga's life and legacy, his vision for a just democratic society remains etched in the hearts of many, from Nairobi to Kampala and beyond. Saddam Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
God be with you till we meet again.
Thank you, Saddam Mubale. Now, still celebrating the life of the former Prime Minister of Kenya, Raila Odinga, the Minister for East African Affairs and also the first Deputy Prime Minister, Rebecca Kadaga, has eulogized the now late former Prime Minister of Kenya, Raila Amolo Odinga, as a Pan-African who has tirelessly struggled for democratic governance. Kadaga, who is the woman Member of Parliament for Kamuli District, says Odinga contributed towards the establishment of Busoga University, which created a special bond between him and the Busoga community.
We woke up to the very sad news of the loss of one of the most iconic figures on the continent of Africa, the late Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, who died yesterday morning in India. He's someone who has been associated with the fight for democracy, for justice. He has endured imprisonment, exile, many times. He has contested for elections for the presidency many times and has never stopped. He has encouraged many to fight on for justice. And on behalf of the people of East Africa, I want to, and of the Ministry of East African Community, I want to send a very sincere condolences to the President of Kenya, to the family of Mrs. Aida Odinga, the children, the greater Odinga family, the people of Bondo constituency, the Siaya County, and the people of Luo Nyanza. I do remember that just early this year, His Excellency the President and I were guests in Kisumu, where they hosted a very big union of the Luo-speaking people of Africa, and we had hopes that it would be part of that will help us to build integration within the continent. But I hope that his death will not end that. I also want to thank him because a few years ago, I invited him to, when he was still Prime Minister, I invited him to come to Busoga University to fundraise for our university. He came willingly and gave us money. He spent the whole day with us. It was a very powerful moment, and I really want to thank him for his humility, because the Prime Minister to come to fundraise a small university in Uganda, private moreover, was something which I considered very, very touching. So I want to thank him for the work he did, the resilience he had, the lessons he taught to the young people, the trials he went through, but in the end, he has died tall as an icon on the African continent. And I wish him rest, eternal rest, a peaceful rest, now that he's no longer working.
The body of former Prime Minister Raila Odinga has been returned home from India, where the veteran opposition leader passed away earlier this week. Thousands of mourners waving palm branches and draped in Kenyan flag colors flooded the streets of Nairobi to welcome him. The sheer size of the crowd overwhelmed security at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, where some mourners broke through barricades, prompting police to fire tear gas and warning shots to restore order. Earlier, the arrival of Odinga's casket at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport brought air traffic to a temporary standstill as supporters surged onto the tarmac in grief and solidarity. Odinga's body will lie in state before a state funeral at Nyayo National Stadium on Friday and burial on Sunday at his ancestral home in Bondo. President William Ruto has declared 7 days of national mourning, hailing Odinga as a founding father of Kenya's multi-party democracy. Witnesses described chaotic scenes in Nairobi as plainclothed officers were seen beating mourners with batons and clouds of tear gas, while others scrambled for safety. An unruly farewell for a man who spent his life challenging authority.
Which the Right Honorable Amolo Odinga stood for were clearly embodied in his speech delivered in this House on the 7th of August 2015, where he called upon members of this House to view themselves as servants of the people and together with the county executive work towards bettering the lives of the people of this great county of Siaya.
Africa has lost a Pan-Africanist, and it is a gap that we do not foresee anybody filling anytime soon. We will live to remember the good things he has done. I served in the county assembly because of the Majimbo dream that he once had. Devolution and self-governance was a story that constantly and consistently he pursued. And we, as members of the county assembly, celebrate him for that.
Now, as Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, we do send our deepest heartfelt condolences to the people of Kenya on the loss of such a great man, Raila Amolo Odinga. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Now, back to Uganda. Government has extended more hope to the people of West Nile as presidential campaigns continue across the country. The Tamaking of Koboko, Yumbe, Moyo Road has excited both locals and leaders at all levels. One of the reasons they have cited for voting NRM back. Now, this was expressed on the sidelines of President Yoweri Museveni's campaigns in Yumbe district, which was also graced by the Prime Minister, Robina Nabanja. We have more.
This is how, triumphantly, leaders directed this yellow-colored procession through Yumbe town. The end point was Geya Primary School, where President Lauryn Masika, also NRM presidential candidate, was scheduled to hold his campaign rally. Just before he arrived, leaders could not hold onto the reasons why the people of Yumbe needed to vote NRM back.
Today you see Yumbe has a referral hospital. The referral hospital that we have in Yumbe caters for the life and the health of the people of Yumbe.
People have started to impress household income. You can see, if you compare the Yumbe of today, of Yumbe which was 10 years ago, you will see there's a difference in terms of infrastructure development.
The tarmac road that my mother actually, Honorable Huda, has talked about is what makes the people of Yumbe excited.
This attribute of peace resonating well with the party's campaign slogan, protecting the gains.
We are here to protect the gains, and we have a lot to protect. Yumbe district has a history. Most of the people know where the people of Yumbe district came from and where they are right now.
Now West Nile and the whole of Uganda has registered peace and security. That is one achievement that we must protect. Peace in West Nile, above all here in Yumbe. We are now in total peace.
This is a place where there has been a lot of insurgencies. People have been repatriated by His Excellency, this government of NRM.
This is what the NRM intends to sustain, given another mandate come 2026.
Why are they voting for him? Because of the peace and security the president has ushered in West Nile and specifically in Yumbe district. So the whole district is now peaceful. People are very happy.
They have the factory, the fruit factory, which is here, the mango processing factory. It's one factory, but it's not enough. That's why they are given 1,200 acres of land for industrialization. Now we have done the feasibility study for that, and we're going to establish an industrial park here in Yumbe for job creation, for value addition for the children and the people of Yumbe district.
This includes social and economic infrastructure development, as alluded to by the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robin Banja.
We came here to commission the construction of a road from Koboko, Yumbe up to NRM. And now they are working on the road. I have seen something wrong, which I've already called Katumba, and told them that these people should do forward maintenance, so that you have a motorable road. I'm telling you, they are going to work on it. I have directed as the president's directive.
The message that the NRM is sharing around during ongoing campaigns remains unchanged, protecting the gains. Henry Okrut, UBC.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, while campaigning in Yumbe district, has appealed to voters to take keen interest in electing leaders who can unite Uganda and consolidate the achievements registered by the NRM government. He emphasized that only the NRM party has the capacity to steer Uganda to its greater heights of development and stability, urging the people of Yumbe to rally behind his candidacy and that of all NRM flag bearers.
The West Nile campaign trail for President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has continued to draw huge crowds of supporters. At major campaign rallies, especially those scheduled in the evening hours, supporters start moving in as early as 8 a.m. Indeed, amidst the scorching sunshine and limited space, it's incumbent upon everyone to position him or herself in order to follow the train. Geya Primary School grounds in Yumbe district has hosted the Thursday campaign rally for President Museveni. And here the party team was led by Right Honourable Richard Odong, and for government was led by Prime Minister Lauryn Masika Kazimoto.
I know there are others who are coming here. You know Muzee is so democratic. Just look at them as signposts. Look at them as signposts. Don't go even there. Keep doing your work. Because it is not necessary. Museveni is the only one with the vision.
Museveni, whose campaign trail message has since inception focused on consolidating peace, good governance and wealth creation in a very unrare occasion, has brought business in Yumbe to a standstill.
People of Yumbe district join the nation in applauding you as youth leadership that has shaped Uganda's development.
Most welcome to Yumbe. The people have been waiting since 8 in the morning.
Before inviting the party presidential candidates, government chief whip and also vice chairperson Northern Uganda, Dance Hamson Obua, charmed the audience.
This way, the referee blows the whistle. It is only 2 minutes to the end of the game. President Museveni takes a look at the ball. He advances towards the ball. Goal number 1 has been scored by President Museveni. Your Excellency, this goal you have scored is the peace you have restored to Yumbe, to West Nile, to Uganda, to Northern Uganda, and to the East African region.
As we go for the elections, you should bear that in mind. Politics is not a game, it is a matter of life and death. If you decide badly, you can end up in a lot of problems.
For this, Museveni is reading from Uganda's black history.
That is what happened in 1962 at independence. People were playing around thinking that politics is about tribes, about religion, Catholics, Protestants, Muslims, etc. And the consequences were terrible.
According to the president, this did not only spoil the economy, but rather shattered Uganda's future until when the NRM government stepped forward.
On account of the bad politics, Uganda was in wars and turmoil until 2007, when NRM finally brought peace in Uganda. This is the peace you are celebrating now. And therefore, the NRM has been able to put forward certain solutions to the people of Uganda all this time.
The dark days, according to the president, did not spare the politics of Uganda.
In 1962, no party could win 50% because the parties were sectarian, according to tribe, according to religion.
After the stabilization of Uganda, the NRM government, according to Museveni, has now focused on building a new Uganda.
When people come talking about things they don't know, please tell them that NRM knows how to handle all this. We know what peace means. And how it comes about. Without development.
For the land donated by the local leaders in Yumbe district to the government, Museveni says it will aid the establishment of an industrial park.
Therefore, for today, fellow NRM people, the 4 words. Number 1, peace. Number 2, development. Number 3, wealth. They are all in the manifesto which you are going to receive in your villages.
Robert Nyango, UBC News.
The NRM presidential candidate, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, has pledged to link the newly created West Nile district of Terego to the national road network by tarmacking the road from Manibe in Arua through Terego to Yumbe and the road from Nimule in Acholi sub-region to Adjumani, passing through Moyo to Yumbe district. President Museveni said that once these roads are completed, and with Terego now connected to the national electricity grid, business activities in the district will flourish. While campaigning in the newly created Terego district, he urged residents to join him in eradicating household poverty by engaging in government wealth creation programs.
Leju Sports Stadium in Terego district was filled to capacity with NRM supporters who gathered to receive and listen to their presidential party flag bearer, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, as he delivered his manifesto for the 2025-2031 term of office. Before addressing the rally, the president commissioned the Leju Sports Stadium. Museveni appealed to the people of Terego to support his candidature and all NRM flag bearers, emphasizing that once elected next year, connecting Terego to the rest of the National West Nile roads and beyond will be his top priority.
On the side of economic infrastructure, you have seen what has happened. We're able to bring the road from Karuma all the way to Koboko. And you have heard, we are going to add the road from Manibe to Yumbe. And we are already working on the road from Atiak, Ajumani, Raropi, Moyo, Yumbe, Koboko. So the Manibe one will link you directly with the national tarmac roads at Yumbe.
In the health sector, Museveni said the current health center 4 will be upgraded to a regional referral hospital and all parishes without health centers will be provided with one.
And for the health centers, Terego has got 7 sub-counties. One has got a health center 4.
Health center su
and 5 have got health center 3s.
Azitauda PA health center level na.
It is only 2 sub-counties that will not have either a health center 3 or 4. And we are going to make sure that that one also gets, and we build a district hospital.
On education, he addressed school administrators failing to implement the government's free education policy, warning them against charging school fees. He pledged to fix the situation in his next term by recruiting more teachers and ensuring that every parish has a primary school and every sub-county has a secondary school, allowing students to attend school without being forced into boarding.
Since 1996, I intended to bring free education in the government schools and later on secondary schools, because I knew there are families who cannot yet afford to pay the school charges. But for some reason, some of the people who are supposed to implement don't share my view. The school managers.
Local leaders welcomed the president's pledges, saying they will provide a major boost to a district that is only 4 years old.
Our theater is so small, it cannot do some of the major operations. So we have to evacuate our people to go and be operated in Yumbe regional referral and Arua referral. We are begging.
A lot of infrastructure development is taking place in West Nile and in Terego here. You can see for yourselves. Look at all this infrastructure in 4 years only in the district headquarters. But you go out, look at our schools, look at our health services. In every sub-county there is a health center 3.
Rome was not built in a day, but the situation in Terego West in particular here has a little bit been bad because we have lost traders that embark always from Arua and come to Kubala market. Some of these traders are our own, others are brothers from other constituencies. They have perished in 2 places, in Orukuru Hill and the other side. So since this is loss of people because of bad roads, it is salient that we are really going to put our cry to him, not because only of the deaths, but also to facilitate trade.
Tomorrow, Friday, the president will continue his campaign in the West Nile districts of Obongi and Moyo.
UBC News Tonight. Now on to the Forum for Democratic Change. Presidential candidate Nathan Nandala Mafabi has promised the fishing community at Majanji landing site in Busia that his government will ensure they regain full access and control over their lake resources. Speaking during a campaign rally at Majanji town, Mafabi said fishermen are being harassed and chased from the lake by armed security officers, yet the lake remains their primary source of livelihood. Meanwhile, as the FDC presidential candidate made his way from Mbale through Tororo en route to Busia for his campaign rallies, police in Tororo initially blocked his convoy before eventually allowing him to proceed. However, upon approaching Busia district, police once again blocked the road using a patrol vehicle, a move that reportedly angered the candidate, prompting a brief exchange between his team and the officers. Mafabi urged that, according to the Electoral Commission campaign schedule, he was officially meant to be in Busia. After the standoff, police cleared the way and the candidate proceeded to hold his first rally in Busia before touring other areas in the district to popularize his manifesto.
Uganda mumaso atenga nafe tusimye mwisani okuvayo omuntu ayesimbawo mwisani tubadde tuli bafu naye kati kulwana ndala tufiirawo yoyo yekka andala woye era kati
kirakikulaba ebizibu bwenagenda mu buyinza kino kiringa ennyanja yammwe mulina okufuna ku kyokulya ekyekina mutonde ndaba bubi nnyo bwojja wano emajanja abantu abali kugenda ku maazi ne babakuba emundu ennyanja abasirikale bali pdf bali abukazira babakonyamonya ekyo kigenda kukoma abantu bagenda kugenda kukola bagenda kuteekawo ebyennyanja byammwe ebimumulye mumutone mufuneki sente.
With Momo, you have the power to pay for shopping more easily using your phone. Dial *165*3# or scan to download Momo app and pay for anything. No hassling for change. And even better, if you run out of money while paying, you can simply add core with Momo Advance. That's Momo. That's the power to be more.
You see, I've been a painter for almost 4 decades, and I have found Global Paints to be very reliable. First, everyone knows we use Global Paint undercoat. Now, for the best results, I continue with Global Paints products. I go for Silk Vinyl when it comes to the interior. Then Global Matte for the ceiling, and when it comes to weatherproof, I go for Global Weather Coat Emulsion. With that one, the house will never peel. Now, there you have a sparkling, magical looking house. And then the client is very happy. He recommends me to another person who recommends me to another person who recommended me to come and do the advert.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
Welcome back from that break. In more news this evening, at least 9 political parties have formed an alliance and coalition and pledged to rally behind President Yoweri Museveni in the ongoing presidential election campaigns. The leaders of the said parties met the Prime Minister, Robina Nabanja, on Wednesday at our office in Kampala. We have the details.
The parties that have resolved to rally behind President Museveni include the Republic Women and Youth Party, Liberal Democratic Transparency LDT, National Economic Empowerment Dialogue NED, Revolutionary People's Party RPP, Congress Service Volunteers Organization COSEVO, and Liberal Democratic Transparency LDT, among others. The parties were led by Godfrey Chiwanda Subi, the chairman of the National Consultative Forum, a constitutional body that brings together all political parties with representation in parliament. Stella Bira Nambuya, who represents the Republic Women and Youth Party, who delivered the Memorandum of Understanding, says it is their constitutional right to form coalitions and alliances, and they have decided to support President Yoweri because of his contribution to the development of the country.
Whereas it is democratic for the party to present a presidential candidate, it is also democratic for political parties to make alliances and coalitions to stipulated in the Political Parties and Organizations Act, Cap 178/18, and to support a candidate of their choice. So Yoweri Kaguta is our choice.
Our mission was to add support to General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni to win by the target of 65% and above in the 2026 general elections. Then the vision was to promote unity, coherence among allied political parties, and a bid to prepare themselves for the 2031 general elections while taking advantage of the continued leadership of the regime as well as enjoying the peace ushered in by the prevailing regime.
The Premier welcomes the idea of alliance, coalition, and their support for President Yoweri Museveni.
Under our 4 principles, that is patriotism. Patriotism is the love for the country. So I want to request you to join me in thanking our brothers and sisters from other political parties who have decided to make this bold decision.
Godfrey Chiwanda Subi briefed the Prime Minister that the National Consultative Forum needs more funding to execute its mandate well.
We have what we call a code of conduct for political parties, which wanted to go out, preach to Ugandans. Even this kind of people uttering bad words on the campaigns, there is a law against this, and this law must be preached by this forum. We all go as political parties, we hold a conference and say, this is what how we are supposed to behave. And that is our role. We have a code of conduct for political parties, which we must popularize, but we cannot go out. You know, our capacities, all these presidents are here to work with the president, to bring stability. Because for some people think that opposition is about to move, is about to this. No.
The Premier later met members of Parliament from the sub-regions of Bugisu, Bunyoro and Bukedi.
Teachers under their umbrella body, UNATU, have agreed to temporarily hold the industrial action that began a month ago over salary disparities. This follows hours of dialogue between trade union leaders, members of parliament and teachers aimed at opposing the strike while the government works to address their concerns.
We have been having a meeting for the leadership of Uganda National Teachers Union in the entire country. Basically, we had moved for 32 days in our industrial action, and on 8th October, we took our petition to the chambers of the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament. She requested us that we should suspend the industrial action and leave negotiations to go on. And on 14th of October, she wrote to the chairperson of Education and Sports Committee, and that one of Public Service and Local Government, instructing them to do the work, look through our petition, and give feedback in 2 weeks' time after receipt of that letter. And therefore, for the spirit of negotiation, we have suspended our industrial action pending the negotiations to come out with a solution to the teachers in this country. We are aware that the budget process starts in September. Now, at the same time, she has instructed the committees to use 2 weeks from the time they receive the letters. We all know Parliament is in recess. We all know members of Parliament are busy looking for votes, but they have been recalled. And therefore, for us, we are going to keep monitoring the process. And then, when this does not materialize, obviously, we shall waive the suspension and resume our industrial action.
The Minister of Education is set to release results from the Uganda Vocational and Training Assessment Board for 30,619 candidates tomorrow at Chambugo Hill. This milestone marks progress towards a skills-based education system despite existing challenges. It is a crucial step in bridging the gap between training and real-world employment.
A total of 30,619 candidates registered for May-June 2025 end of program assessments, and these were from 499 assessment centers. Of these centers, 306, which represents 61%, were from formal training institutions, and 193, which is 39%, were from informal TVET providers, respectively. Of these candidates, 17,423 were female, and 13,196 were male. And we conducted these assessments from 2nd May 2025, 27th June 2025. The assessments covered broad categories as indicated in Section 30 of the TVET Act 2025, and these broad categories cover technical education and training, they cover business education and training, home science education and training, and also these categories cover in the same manner the informal acquired skills. Another category is the category of sports education and training, which has now moved to TVET, and we have not had candidates here. It's just because it is new in the TVET subsector, but also our cultural and development department is working hard to come out with the proper ATPs and curricula for this area of sports. It is an area which has not been really in our training institutions, but we want to exploit it. As you know, it is now a profession on its own.
The State Minister for ICT, Godfrey Kabyanga, has issued a stern warning to youths against internet misuse ahead of the 2026 general elections. He cited the risk of misinformation circulated via social media, which could compromise national security. Minister Kabyanga noted that the government may be forced to switch off the internet during and after the elections to prevent the spread of false information, including premature announcement of election results. Meanwhile, the third Deputy Prime Minister, Right Honorable Rukia Nakadama, urged leaders in Mayuge district to avoid politics fueled by hatred. She called on them instead to demonstrate patriotism in all their actions. The remarks were made during the opening of a two-day engagement meeting for local leaders and RDCs in Mayuge district organized by the ICT Ministry held at Seaville Resort.
Now what determines your ideological energy, what breaks you? What breaks you to belong to the political organization you are? You must determine what you want.
We want peace, we want unity, we want civility. People should be able to have knowledge when they are leading. That's our core. And we are moving across the country, making noise, preaching the gospel, talking to our leaders to live in harmony with each other. When somebody has got a responsible leader, is an active leader, is an effective leader, and above all, somebody is a patriotic leader. Those are the people we want in our Uganda, in the citizens, so that we achieve that socio-economic transformation. That's the requirement for us.
Coming here to tell people thereafter that they should love one another, that they should love their country, and that they should work. That is the responsibility of every citizen to contribute to national development. It's just not an issue of asking what government has done for you. You should also ask yourself, what contribution have you added to national development? What have you done for government? For you to ask government what it has done for you. So those are the things we are trying to look at. And then our trainings also act as barazas, where we call leaders from all sectors to come and do accountability.
I'm saying let people not continue using envy in politics. There's a lot of many people want to follow what others have done, and also envy, fighting for others when you even don't know what that person is fighting for. So politics of envy is not good. I'm calling upon people, let us forgive and let us reconcile. Reconciliation is very important, and we should move as a team, of course, after reconciling. And when you reconcile, losing a vote may be like in one election, doesn't mean that it's the end of life, it's the end of the day. Many things are ahead of you.
An assistant superintendent of police, Clive Nsima Barije, allegedly caught on CCTV slapping a cashier at a Chanja fuel station, has been released on a cash bail of 1 million shillings and a non-cash sureties worth 15 million shillings. ASP Nsima is accused of assaulting Pelen after she reportedly demanded payment of 30,000 shillings for items purchased at the fuel station supermarket. Magistrate Nicholas Aiso ordered his release on bail after reviewing substantial sureties presented in court. Those who stood sureties for ASP Nsima include Mushabe Daniel, Igumye Mark and Mukwanzi Cynthia. In court, ASP Nsima faced 2 charges, malicious damage and assault, both of which he pleaded not guilty to. The prosecution confirmed that inquiries are complete and requested a hearing date. Magistrate Aiso adjourned the case to 6 November 2025 for hearing.
Accordingly, all the information placed before me, weighed against the other and bearing in mind the interest of justice in this case and the liberty of the accused person, none of which ought to be.
Now, in more news this evening, as the Indian community in Uganda prepares to celebrate the Naraka Shadudasi and Diwali in October 19th, excitement is building across Kampala. The Festival of Lights, under the theme Unity in Diversity, will showcase India's culture, music and cuisine. Adding to the celebrations, the Indian community recently launched the Jalwa Fireworks Supermarket in Bukoto, promoting safe and joyful festivities. Authorities are urging peaceful celebrations and cooperation with security agencies to ensure safety for all.
We'll have a
Naraka Chatudashi and Diwali festivals symbolize the triumph of good over evil and light over darkness. Will take place this year at Speak Resort, Munyonyo. The event promises to attract thousands of Ugandans and tourists, highlighting India's rich cultural heritage.
Like a myth, but I believe that through sensitization, the public will come to know more about fireworks and not only wait for Independence Day, but their anniversaries.
The Deputy Director in charge of counter-terrorism, Patrick Lalort, encouraged attendees to maintain peace and cooperate with security agencies, emphasizing that cultural events like Diwali strengthen community ties and enhance Uganda's reputation as a peaceful and inclusive nation.
What causes the fireworks to be a bit tricky is that when you don't manage it well and the store goes off, it can cause catastrophe. It can even blow down that building. Though it may not look very strong when it is one, but the moment it is piled in one place and it is settled, like for some of you like the press, you could have witnessed what happened in India. Was it last year?
During the launch of Jwala Fireworks Supermarket, Sudhir Rupaleria, the founder and chairman of the Rupaleria Group, lauded the Indian community for Uganda's first fireworks store, noting their entrepreneurial spirit and dedication to safe communal celebrations.
Fireworks is one part of the celebration of Diwali. Normally it's a time you exchange gifts like you do at Christmas Day. So in the Hinduism, that's the time. When I was young, I used to get...
ASP Mikisa Waswa welcomed the initiative, highlighting its role in educating Ugandans on fireworks safety to ensure joyous and peaceful festivities. The chairman of the Indian Association of Uganda described Diwali as a unifying festival, emphasizing that this year's celebration aims to make the spirit of Diwali accessible to everyone, dispelling the notion that it is exclusively for the wealthy.
Responsibly, safely, and with unity, lighting up Uganda with joy and pride. Thank you, and may this Diwali bring peace, prosperity, and brightness to every home for God and my country.
In a move to transform service delivery and improve public sector efficiency, the Ministry of Public Service has organized a business process re-engineering workshop for human resource managers across government departments. The initiative aligns with Uganda's Vision 2040 and the government's commitment to responsive, transparent and accountable public service.
The Ministry of Public Service has organized a business process re-engineering workshop for human resource managers across government ministries and agencies that seeks to overhaul outdated government procedures and service delivery models, positioning Uganda for modern and citizen-centered governance.
There has been higher chances of wastage in the government, where people have rushed to do things. They have even gone into procurement, they then realize, hey, by the way, you know that that can't even pass through that window, sorry, this door. Without doing deeper root cause analysis and finding the appropriate solutions. So we must know where we are. In some of our places, the things where some of the processes are very complex. They take too long, they cost too much, they confuse people, they are unrequired.
Through BPR, the ministry aims to redesign key public service processes to become more efficient, transparent and people-focused, reducing turnaround times and improving citizen satisfaction.
The above process engineering in the government will address the above challenges through streamlining service delivery processes to ensure prompt response to citizenship needs. And this will happen by reducing the turnaround times, eliminating redundancies, and improving the overall quality of public services.
what we are looking at is how are we serving our clients, regardless whether they are external or internal clients. The mission of this policy is to continuously review and support the installation of efficient, effective, and sustainable business processes for the delivery of public services.
With a focus on practical solutions and cross-departmental collaboration, the ministry hopes the ripple effects of this workshop will be felt across all levels of government, ultimately transforming how services are delivered to the people of Uganda.
And the driving permits, some of you who have gone, you've seen how good it is. The passports, some of us who have taken some time on this earth, you know what it usually took. I think it was like over a year. You would be waiting, go through the DC, those days, the district, you go where you wait 6 months, but now you can actually ask for your passport and you quickly get it. So what we are saying is we want to make this practical, and this is the way to go with. We ask for support from all of us.
Mary Namkose, UBC in Kampala.
The budget for the customer.
nateranga nyingiro n'abanafa MTN wanje MTN walalo MTN gamba ki to get the power to win njagalo ofuna elyanyi okuwangula ogenda kuwangula ota ngenda kubanga obukadde 10 buli wiki wanje ngenda kubanga kwasa obukadde 10 buli wiki ku simu ye nyinyi kyabonka kimuchoka line ya MTN banabeka buli ogenda okusasula ekintu kyonna ogenda okusasula ndakwese momo obulya buli ogenda okusasula ngenda kyosasula kyonna kozesa momo ozo kwanga ngenda kwewola kasente kozesa momo wanje ogenda ku investinga kozesa momo abo MTN we jamani nekwa bukadde 10 buli wiki wala kastelyo bimala bwe pala wentandika ngamba kyekiriwo wanje nenkwata ku masimu ngamba halo walirudawa tenze tirinyi halo walirudawa zende guru halo walirudawa ndi mutukula halo oliwa ndi mwanange ndi wano mu office ntudde nyega ma computer nenkuta awa namwe kasana benesi okuberanga mwana wote koze ebintu n'amanga epeyinze ebolowinze investinze ngekozesa momo. Remember to dial *165# or use the Momo app to borrow, to pay, to invest, and you could stand a chance to win 10 million weekly.
Welcome back. And now into the business scene. The National Social Security Fund has unveiled a new partnership with the Uganda Road Transport Union in a bid to strengthen financial inclusion and promote a culture of saving among transport operators. Under the arrangement, the fund targets to mobilize up to 365 billion annually through its Smart Life voluntary savings product designed to help informal sector workers plan for their financial security and future well-being.
Microfinance Support Center introduced the Islamic financing model in 2017, and since then it has steadily spread across different parts of Uganda. This mass training in Lira City now brings together participants from West Nile, Acholi, and Lango, further deepening financial inclusion.
This is going to move across the region. From here we will be moving to the West Nile, and then from the West Nile we'll go to Karamoja sub-region. And at the end of the day, we want to be sure that our customers best appreciate what the principles of Islamic financing and also be in position to benefit from the advantages that come with this kind of package.
The training is part of MSC's broader strategy to build vibrant community financial institutions aimed at creating jobs, building wealth, and promoting household socio-economic transformation.
We are saying that Islamic financing is not only for the Muslim community, it's for everyone, but it's a financing that is based on the principles of Sharia. that is Islamic commercial law.
Among the biggest ongoing initiatives in the region is the Local Economic Growth Support Program, which focuses on agro-machinery and onward lending. The integration of Islamic financing strengthens MSC's efforts to empower the active poor, leaving no one behind.
I'm very happy because I'm one of the beneficiaries. The support the government has given to microfinance, I could say really has impacted a lot to the life of the community.
As the training intensified, participants were reminded of the core values of Islamic finance, particularly avoiding investment in projects considered haram or forbidden under Islamic faith.
On the ground, we have our teams that are able to guide the clients from time to time to ensure that they follow the principles of Sharia.
Islam says if you give somebody 100,000 to invest in business, at the end of the day, that person should be able to give you back 100,000, not to give you back maybe 110,000. It means you have not helped that person, but you have burdened him. That person will be working for you.
Regional leaders say such programs not only build financial discipline, but also complement other government initiatives.
We are aware government gave us a MIOGA that enterprises, businesses have been boosted up. They are now better. They can come together as enterprises, as circles that were in this, borrow this money and pay it and continue to prosper.
Women who attended the training expressed gratitude to the NRM government.
We are encouraged, we were empowered. We go everywhere where we want to go. We do our business internationally.
Over 90 groups participated in the training. For many, this marks a shift from conventional banking systems toward faith-based and ethical financing. Chris Buyondo, UBC.
And into sports, Uganda's national netball team, the She Cranes, is into its second week of training ahead of the Celtic Cup in Scotland next month. John Van Sentamu with more.
The MTN Arena in Lugogo is where the Uganda netball national team, the She Cranes, has continued training in readiness for the Celtic Cup in Scotland next month.
These girls are preparing for the Celtic Cup in Scotland. It's a ranking game. We have to go for it to fight for our position. You know, Wales had taken our position. We were in position 6, then Wales took our position, and we are now number 7. So we have to go back and fight for this position so that we get an automatic qualification for World Cup, which is 2027. World Cup is taking 6 countries or 6 teams as an automatic qualification. So from number 7 to 12, they have to go back for qualifications. They fight and make sure they fight and qualify to go for World Cup. So for us, we want to qualify automatically. So that's why we are going for this tournament.
The tournament is a ranking event at which excellence against the likes of Scotland, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Wales and Northern Ireland is a must.
You can see the girls are ready and are training hard. As a team together, we are here to learn each one another because all of us are not coming from the same club, and we have to know our positions and how one moves so that we are good to go.
The team in camp under coach Rashid Mubiru has a mix of experience and youthful exuberance that is ready for the task ahead.
The preparation is okay. So far we've been training because our league is ongoing. At the same time their clubs need them to play for them. So what we've done in a week, at least they come twice, they train, and the other 2 days they go and train for their club so that they match with their friends. However, next month, beginning of next month, they are going for residential so that we have them from morning to evening until we go, because we are meant to travel on 23rd. So they will train from 1st to around 20th, then we prepare and they go. However, for now, They are ready. They seem ready.
Players in camp include Farida Kadondi, Maseba Tamuliza, Speciosa Namokose, Rachel Nanyonga, and Gloria Aya.
And that does it for our first edition. Do join us for our second edition at 10 o'clock. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto, together with my colleague Muhammad Mugalu. We'll see you at 10.